Welcome everyone to Shelfside on Tour. Let's have a look at the headlines. Rupert Murdoch, adopted by Wasp, made of flesh. Jury in Garnacho gnome theft trial found floating in space.
And in entertainment news, Martinelli's holiday to the King's Head pub, Luton interrupted by gunfire.
All this and more on Shelfside on Tour. Welcome everyone to Shelfside on Tour. The new show on Tottenham on Tour is going to be mad. It's just going to be completely crazy. Joining me is my co-host Ash. Ash, how you doing?
I was all right, but then I had to do this show, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I feel your pain. I do. It's not pleasant doing stuff like this, but hey, that's what it doesn't even pay the bills, really, does it? So yeah. Anyway, I understand, Ash, that we have some guest units in the back room. Is that true, or is that just a foul rumor that's been spread by our enemies?
Well, if it was a rumor, then we clearly have interlopers over here.
That's true.
Has invaded Shelfside on Tour.
They've invaded?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a invasion from Cocker-Doodle-Doo.
Oh my God, not that lot. Ugh. Fine, bring them on. Who are they? Oh, good. It's Brian and Ben, my two favorite people. No, welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And how you doing? Brian, how things?
Things are good. Everything is wonderful. I'm on my third coffee. It's pre-recorded. It's 20 to 6 in the morning, and I'm on my third coffee. And I'm surrounded by lovely people. And
It must be a bit of a wrench for you. It must be a bit of a wrench for you not being live.
Do you know what? It's nice. It's nice to be. We got to remember we did the advent calendar, so we've done
That's
a few.
True.
But yeah, it's nice to have a pre-recorded and just be able to relax and talk with good people.
Superb. And Ben, coming at us live, recorded from the coffee company.
Absolutely,
how you doing?
As it should be.
Brian, it's good people and Rez.
That's true.
Oh yes, I thought so. I thought
Come in peace, Ash.
That's going to be. I think we're going to make that the show slogan. Shelfside on Tour. Good people and Rez.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
I want to critique the spelling of Latin because there aren't enough A's. It should be L-A-A-A-A-A-A-N.
Apostrophe N.
Apostrophe N, yeah.
Lan. Yeah, that's right.
Or just like lousy.
So welcome again, guys. Thank you for joining me and my co-host Ash for what's going to be a couple of hours of pain, torture, and light entertainment. And thank you to our viewing several for joining us. Before we get into the meat of it, do please come join Tottenham on Tour for the other things that we're going to be having. Every weekday morning, 9 a.m., you got Cockerel-Doodle-Doo, hosted by, I don't know, is marvellous the right word? No, but hosted by Brian Daigle and joined by Ben and myself. And after every match, the morning after a match, so coming to you Saturday, we've got Anger Management looking back at the Burnley FA Cup tie that's being played tomorrow. Lots of good content coming to you from Tottenham on Tour. Sorry, Brian, say again.
But say, don't forget my reaction straight after.
And Brian's reaction. Exactly. Brian's reaction straight after the Burnley game. So, yeah, lots of great content on Tottenham on Tour. Do please join us for those. Now, my gnomes tell me, Ash, that it's time for a bit of history, a little bit of history. So Spurs on this day, à la histoire. Is that correct? Yes, it is. I see the splash screen. It's here. It's here. let's have a look back at some of the things that have happened in our history. So, first up, we have the 5th of January, 1946. We played the first leg of the only two-legged FA Cup tie Spurs ever played. Against Brentford, we drew 2-2, went back to Brentford in the return leg and lost 2-0 to exit the competition. Now, can any of you very, very clever people tell me why it's the only two-legged FA Cup tie we've ever played?
Because we were told to.
Because we were told to. Exactly right. That is the official reason. Now, for those of you who are interested, and I don't think that's many of you, to be honest, 1946 or the 45-46 FA Cup was the only FA Cup that had two legs in the first to the sixth round. So it's the only one we ever played. We went out of the competition. And so we've only ever played one two-legged tie. The next little bit of history, on the 1st of January 1900, the first Spurs game of the 20th century took us to Ayresome Park to face Middlesbrough, where we drew 2-2, part of a tour of the Northeast. And we played Sunderland a couple of days later. I mean, what kind of a bloody tour is that? You know, two games.
On tour.
It's the shelf side on tour. That's right.
Damn right.
Absolutely.
It seems to be like a Spurs signature score at this point, at least on this day.
Yeah, that's true. On this specific day, in actual fact, last year, though, we crushed Crystal Palace 4-0 at Selhurst Park. Kane got a brace, and we got a rare Matt Doherty goal that day.
I was there. I was there.
You were there?
I was there with Ben from Real Tottenham TV.
Fantastic.
That's when a certain chairman was being historically chanted to leave.
Amazing stuff. So there you go, guys. A little dose of history for you, you know. But as we all recall, New Year's Eve, we played a certain team from the South Coast, i.e. Bournemouth. Not a bad result. I still maintain that we didn't play particularly well, but it ended Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 1. And I think we should get into the meat of it, guys. Who watched it? Did you all watch the game?
Yes.
Oh, I was knitting.
Why were you? What were you? No. Okay. Do we ask what or why first, Ash?
I think what, because why seems to be self-explanatory to me.
Right. Okay, Ben, what were you knitting?
A dinosaur?
You were knitting a dinosaur?
Yeah.
I hope it was full scale.
Yeah, it was. That's why I was knitting during the game.
Oh, fantastic, because it was such a big project.
Yeah.
Was it
Ben did that. No, I think Ben was doing that to be our new centre-back.
Yes.
Tyrannosaurus Rex to sort out the defensive issues.
So was that a Dinosaurus Rex?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
You know, if Ben really was getting us a dinosaur, we'd have less handballs because it'd be like this all the time.
They would.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Put some teeth in our defence as well for once.
Oh my God! Excellent. So, okay, guys, tell us. We'll come to you first, Ben. What did you think of the match? Give us your take on it, mate.
We were poor. We were poor from start to finish. First 15 minutes we were okay because of the brilliant duo of Pape Sarr and Mr. Bentancur being able to pop the ball about. We got the first goal, and then, of course, Sarr got his incredibly unfortunate injury, and we just lost all drive and effort in that midfield. It was Bentancur versus the other team at one point, trying to do his absolute best to put the ball about, but no one was moving for him. And defensively, it's one of the worst displays I've ever seen from Tottenham. Defensively, we had two centre-backs that couldn't defend at all. We had almost Davis defending on his own half the time, because if you look at Emerson Royale positionally, because I watched him very closely, he was never in the right position the entire game. And I know people can say this is an agenda sin. Nick! He was completely he was playing right back when he was supposed to be playing centre back. So not only did it make Porro off his game, because Porro wasn't able to defend because he wasn't able to push up the pitch, which is what he does, and go into his position. We were all over the place. We were totally all over the place. If we were against a better team, they would have punished us. And Bournemouth played very well, I thought. They played very well. But what separated us, we've got 3 better goal scorers, and we scored 3 goals. And they needed a Tottenham boy to score for them. So big up Alex Scott.
From my perspective, we've seen both at the same time, both profligate and really clinical in front of goal in sort of equal measure. What did you think of our attack, Brian? Were you encouraged? Rishi got another goal.
Yeah, Richie's coming for a lot of hate, as always. Don't think it's warranted. Really don't think it's warranted, but we as Spurs fans have to target someone, apparently. He's there to score goals. He scored a goal. Yes, do they need to be more clinical? Yes, they do. Did we create opportunities to put the game to bed before Bournemouth rallied? Yes, we did. Did we get the job done, though, which is most important? And as we look at this lovely little middle feature showing the score, we score more goals than them. So you can say that, but I'm actually going to add a little feature to this. I'm going to give, whenever I come on this show, whenever I'm invited, I'm going to give you a Scotland Yard report.
Okay.
I go to the world famous home of Toronto Spurs, the famous YouTube famous now Toronto Spurs and Scotland Yard. And for New Year's Eve, over 100 people. Normally we get around, Brighton, there was over 300. But New Year's Eve, 9 o'clock kickoff. All the good people that were there. Obviously, it's Ben has had the pleasure of joining me in the world famous home of Toronto Spurs. And it was another good day shared by all. And obviously, when you've got 15 screens to watch it from, it doesn't matter where you are, you get to watch it. Sometimes when you're watching Spurs, that can actually be punishment. But yesterday, New Year's Eve was a blessing, and it was a very good day had by all. And we all thought there that job done.
Brilliant stuff. What were your thoughts in general about the game, Brian? What did you notice outside of some of the stuff that has been talked about? Disappointed. I think we were all upset with Matar Sarr's injury. Are you worried? Are you concerned with that? Obviously, you will be. But what are your thoughts?
Well, the fact that he's gone to the AFCON gives me a lot of hope. I thought the way he was having his head over his shirt looked like. I'm really concerned that this could rule me out of an important international tournament for him. We see it with England players, obviously, when Rooney and Beckham did their metatarsals at World Cups, and we all get that fear as the players do. But it looks like he's gone and he's okay. But I think what it did show is without him and then Bissouma on form or off form, once one of those players go, that midfield struggled. The midfield was a problem. Listen, Bentancur was there, surprised us being there. Is as silky and as smooth as you said. And one of our regular Cockerel-Doodle-Doo viewers, 3 for All, said he's like the Roger Federer of midfielders. And he is. He's that classy, silky, brilliant talent. Obviously, he couldn't stay on the whole game. But Lo Celso, don't get me wrong, Lo Celso individually played brilliant. But you could see as a unit, they weren't cohesive. They weren't, and that's due to lack of minutes. It could be worked on, but I think our midfield was overrun, and a weak defence could have been and should have been with Solanke exposed a lot more than they were.
Yeah. Oh, is that something that we're going to see more of in January? Do you think, Ash? Because obviously Sarr's gone, Bissouma's gone. We've got Bentancur back, which is a blessing. But who do you see partnering him regularly over the next 3 or 4 games while our sort of, I guess it's first choice are away?
Well, I think it's going to be Skippy simply because I think Højbjerg will leave. And honestly, when I saw Bentancur's name on the team sheet, I was ecstatic. I was so happy. But then I realized that it was the weather was really inclement. And so then I decided to watch the game on the beach. I built myself a comfort castle and then watched the game. Unlike Brian, who watched it with like 900 people, I watched it alone in my comfort castle so that in case somebody gets injured, I have my comfort castle to hide inside. forever and ever. And well, Sar did get injured, but I made it out of my comfort castle and I escaped.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Excellent.
Yeah, we won 3. That's enough.
That was good. I mean, obviously, Ben, you're pleased at the result. We did get a win. I mean, I don't think we should sort of be too negative. Happy that we got a win?
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm seeing worrying signs and I'm seeing cracks in the armour. And although we have won this game, other teams that are going to be playing us are going to be looking at that performance, because they all look at the other opposition teams before the game. No matter what coaches say, and they all say the nonsense, we focus on us, don't focus on the other team, yada, yada, yada. They've all looked at that performance and they've all analysed how to get at us. They know how to hurt us. So those chinks in the armour need to be reinforced now. There needs to be a new armor plate. Otherwise, better teams, when they come to the lane, will punish us. Teams will know to focus on our right-hand side and target that area, because you're not going to get a lot out of Ben Davies and Udogie. You're going to get a few little crumbs where they're not able to progress the ball quickly enough through those lines. But anyone can get through that right-hand side of our pitch. So we're going to have to reinforce those as soon as possible. But it's another win for Ange Postecoglou and 3 points off the top, which is crazy, really. It's crazy that we're having a total injury crisis, yet we're still touching distance from a league title. We're touching distance mathematically, maybe not philosophically and maybe not spiritually, but mathematically we're still in the race. And all we need to do is fatten up that squad. We need some stuff in.
So in terms of, let's look at the defense a little bit. Obviously, at the moment, you know, probably for the Burnley game tomorrow, it's going to be another makeshift defense unless some miracle happens, you know. But beyond the Burnley game, let's look at the United game. The rumors are that, or the talk is that Van de Ven will be available for Man United. But where we've seen Van de Ven deployed has been on the left side of the defence. Can he do a job in the right? So we have essentially one actual centre-back at the back, and also someone who, although not technically a centre-back, has played centre-back both for his country and for Spurs. Do you see Ben Davies and Van de Ven? Is it a case of we have to have that, Brian?
So what you're asking me is, can a left-sided centre-back who has been one of the best defenders in the Premier League before his injury, if not if he can come in and play on the right and do better than Emerson and Dyer? That's the question you're actually asking me.
Yeah.
I think Van de Ven with 2 pulled hamstrings could do better on the right side of defence than Emerson and Dyer combined.
Yeah.
So,
Probably right.
So, listen, Ben Davies deserves a lot of credit for what he's been doing. He's not the answer. We know this. If it's Van de Ven and Romero, ta-da, you're gone. But more to the point, I don't want Van de Ven being put in just because he's available. I want Van de Ven back when he is 100% fit. No risks. No, we're putting you in because we need a defender. If we're doing it for that reason, then we could have a problem. If his hamstring isn't fully recovered, do not even think about it. Would I be delighted to see him? Without a doubt, he's my favourite player. He is my favourite player by a mile. I love him with Porro. But yeah, if he's fit, would I have him at right centre back? In a goddamn heartbeat.
Excellent. Let's look at our attack as well. There's a couple of things that we need to talk about. Obviously, Sonny will be leaving us soon. Not on a transfer. He's going to the Asian Cup. Yeah. Before anyone starts going, what? No. But Richie seems to be coming into form, Ash. Is that pleasing to you? Are you happy that he's seemingly found his feet and is scoring? Obviously, it's only 5 goals in 5 games. So it might just be a purple patch. What are your thoughts on Richie? Has he finally found his feet?
Yeah, I think he has. Like, even before he hit his purple patch, the movement was always there. It's just that we saw him miss those final chances simply because he'd be too late or too early. And I think that's because of when you're playing with pain, it's very hard to make these judgments because you're constantly worried about the pain that you're in. So I think that once he had his operation, that movement sort of got better timed. He still needs to time his offsides better and like his runs better for offside, but that's also on the other players who release the ball too slow. I do think Richie will come good. I still believe though that if we can get 70 million or 60 million or whatever we paid for him, if we could sell him off and get someone better, we still can upgrade on that position. But I kind of like Richie and I like how hard he works. So I think it's fine. I have a pet peeve though with the Asian Cup. A lot of people have been calling it the Asian Games. Please stop calling it the Asian
Not the
Games.
Asian Games.
Like our Commonwealth Games. So that's like Olympics and like athletics and stuff like that. So it's like we're sending Sunny off to the races. So
It's
please
true.
stop calling it that.
Although you never know. I mean, he's
Didn't you know that? There's no football. He's going horse riding.
yes. Well, do you know what? He's such a South Korean hero that he probably would, and everyone would love it. Ben, your thoughts on Richie? Are you of the camp that believes that we can upgrade, and if we can get money for him, maybe an upgrade, or do you think he needs to stay and actually build and maybe become an actual stalwart of this Spurs side?
I think what a lot of people don't, whether it's through not liking Richie as a player or looking at his price, I don't think people really realise what he adds to this team. I am not the biggest fan of him, but there's one thing he is perfect for in an Ange Postecoglou system is similar to what Kyogo used to do, which is him being what they call the sacrificial lamb, which means his aggression and his work rate and his constant bombarding of defenders physically creates space for everyone else. And that's where your goals come from. An Ange Postecoglou team does not rely on someone getting 30 goals a year. Of course, that would be amazing if we had someone scoring 30 goals a year. Kyogo got a load of goals in the Scottish League, but it's the Scottish League. There's not, you can't really compare that to the Premier League. But Richarlison's work ethic and his aggression creates space for the likes of Sonny, for a Maddison eventually, for a Johnson. And what that does is it creates that space to score goals on the edge of the box. And that's what Richarlison brings to the team. So if you're going to get rid of Richarlison, you've got to get another player in that similar ilk of run all game, aggression, physicality, good in the air, but most importantly, tap-ins. When you give a ball to Richie in a tap-in position, he usually puts it in the back of the net. Richarlison is not someone that scores goals like Harry Kane does, or like Sonny does, or like Maddison does. He requires it on a play in the box. Give it to them there.
He's a poacher. Yeah. He's a poacher rather than a striker.
If you whip the ball in with intent and with pace into his head, he will score goals. We've just got to learn how to play with Richarlison. We've got to start whipping balls in and letting him be a goal poacher. That is what he's good at. If you give him loads of chances in the box, he will score most of them. That's what he's good. He's an impulse player. He's a guy with like adrenaline, with instinct. So don't give him time to think. He thinks too quickly. And when he thinks too quickly, he messes it up for himself. So just give it 2 seconds, bang, back of the net. That's what he's good at. But he is the sacrificial lamb of the team that will create space for others. And that's what Richie brings.
Let's talk about Lo Celso, Brian. I think pretty much everyone in the fan base had given up on this guy. He was deemed as surplus to requirements. And yet we've seen some performances from him recently. Yeah. Likewise, is he one that we are looking to cut our losses, or do you think that there is a path back to regular Spurs play for Gio Lo Celso?
The problem with Lo Celso has never been down his ability. It's down his ability to stay fit. That's the whole issue. You can't, like even now, waiting for Burnley. If someone says, "Do you have a concern about anyone with 1 day to go?" I would say, "Yeah, Diego Celso," because that man could wake up on the wrong side of bed injured. Listen, let's face it, that's his career at Tottenham. When he plays and when he's injury free, he's a very, very good player. But you can't plan a few games in advance thinking, is he going to be fit? I want to play him. I want to do this. I want to do that. If he stays fit, we saw he is perfect for this manager, perfect for this system. But there is the there is the obvious worry every single time. Will he be fit? And that's the issue. I think he was superb against Bournemouth.
Yeah, he was.
I think when he came back against Manchester City and Villa, he was great. But then, guess what? He picked up an injury. And that's the only issue I ever have with him, his ability to stay fit.
Mm. And speaking of fitness and Argentinians, Veliz, that was very, very painful to watch. I was, we were watching the match, me and Kim, and she turned to me and she said, so do you think that we're going to be seeing a lot more of Veliz in the coming weeks? And 3 seconds later, he went down injured. Ash, what did you think of that? I mean, there's been some criticism from certain quarters about how that Veliz, when he was injured, was being told to stay down and insisted on getting up and trying to keep going. And also Højbjerg came in for some criticism for passing him the ball when he had just pulled up injured. What's your thoughts on the Veliz situation?
I think that, yes, it's true. He showed his inexperience. But I would also say that, he realized that that all the 5 subs had been made, and he just didn't want to let his team down. He didn't want there to be only 10 men on the pitch. And perhaps it would have been better for him to stay down and let the medical team come in. It would have also wasted some time. So it would have been better all around. But I sort of liken it to a young player not taking the ball to the corner in extra time. It's that same sort of thirst to prove yourself. And I actually like that in a player. I like that a player wants to do something for the team and to prove themselves. Højbjerg, I don't know. I've run out of excuses for Højbjerg. He probably just didn't realize he was injured. I don't think it was anything intentional, or he was just not sure what was happening in the game at that point. Was possibly it's happened before as well when they passed to Emerson and Emerson wasn't 100%. So it happens sometimes in games. I wouldn't put too much on it, but it was also a bittersweet moment for me because I saw the fiery mama bear side of Ange, where he was just raring to go at that assistant Bournemouth coach. And I swear, like, I wouldn't take on Ange in a fight. I think Ariola would have gone down immediately. I mean, if it was Arteta, he'd be down before Ange even touched him. But that's diving nonetheless.
Reminds me of when Arsene Wenger squared up to Martin Jol during a North London derby, and it was sort of like, "Are you mad? He will break you." He's not small. Is Ange Postecoglou, definitely. No. Any other talking points, guys? Any other thoughts on the Bournemouth game? Obviously, 3 points, very welcome, but we are in an injury crisis at the moment. I mean, the squad is like too little butter on too much bread at the moment. What are your thoughts going forward?
Sign some players.
Yeah. Sack the medical team.
Sack the medical team.
Damn right.
There you have it, folks. The shelf side on tour view is sack the medical team. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you for that, guys. We will now move on to our next section. Saints and Sinners, guys. Okay, so we've talked about the Bournemouth game, and now we're going to have your picks for the Saints and Sinners. The way that Saints and Sinners works for the viewing several is that for every game, my illustrious guests will pick who they individually think was the Saint, i.e. the best Spurs player, the Star, who was the second best Spurs player, the Devil, i.e. the worst Spurs player, and the Demon, who's the second worst Spurs player. And then we'll have a little chat and we'll assign points. And we'll keep a league table throughout the season. And at the end of the season, we will find who is the top Spurs player, according to the wondrous guests that we have on Shelfside on tour, and who would be the devil incarnate. So we will start, I think, with Brian. Brian, who was your Saint in the Bournemouth game? Who did you think was the best player?
Very, very easy for me. Very, very easy. One player, the first player to sign a new contract this season, our left back / centre back / wherever the bloody hell the ball is, he's not far away from it. Destiny Udogie. Very, very easy. Very, very easy choice. Unbelievable yesterday against Bournemouth.
Excellent. And your star, so who sort of wasn't quite as good, but was still pretty damn good?
Gio Lo Celso.
Fantastic. Okay, good. Reasons why? Why did you pick Gio? Why did you pick Destiny over Gio?
2 assists is what Gio brought. Controlled part of the game, was just the pass to Son for his goal. Is just an incredible pass. But for me, Destiny, like I said, Destiny has it in defence. That guy was left back, he was centre back, he was right back. 3 1-on-1s he stopped. Wherever I don't know. I think Spurs on the left wing have a teleportation machine where Destiny Udogie can just walk through it, and then he's the furthest player up the pitch. Because there's times where he's the last man defending, and within 15 seconds, he's the furthest man forward. This man's energy capacity, his strength, his stamina, his everything is something we haven't seen for a long, long time. For me, I'd say I haven't seen it down the left side since Gareth Bale, the first coming of Gareth Bale. So he clearly wins it for me over Gio, but Gio had a very, very good show for himself.
Fantastic. So who is your devil? Who was the worst Spurs player? Who did you think fouled the pitch up for us?
Ollie Skip. Ollie Skip, he could have been red carded. And listen, I'm an Ollie Skip fan. We do this game by game. He just wasn't with it. He grew into it near the end, but during the game, and you can see the difference between him and Sarr. When playing in that position, there is night and day between them. And listen, Ollie Skip under Conte, I loved. I thought he was our best player at one point under Conte, but it was not the best of showing for him.
Yeah.
And your demon?
I can't believe I'm going to say this because for me, he's been player of the season. I'm going to say Pedro Porro, and I hate saying that, but I have to be fair. He's been exceptional, but he just wasn't on it to the high levels he's been at all season. And he was caught out a bit in defence. Now, don't get me wrong, with Ange Postecoglou style of play, he's going to. He occasionally has a little bit of a brain fart and switches off. And thankfully, they weren't punished. And like I said, for me, he is player of the season. But that doesn't mean I can't say he didn't have the best of games when he doesn't. And for me, he just wasn't at the supremely high standards he set himself.
Ash, Madam Producer, who was your saint?
I agree with Brian. I think Udogie was saint. You might as well call him, Michael or whatever other saint, Raphael. He was all the Ninja Turtles. So yeah, he was amazing. Udogie was just amazing. I loved him, and he had every sort of position on that back line covered. He was, there were times when he was on the left defending when if he wasn't there, the Bournemouth player would be one-on-one with the keeper. Just he was almost the last line of defense. So he's just every sort of back. Unlike Ben Davies, he actually has back. So he was just amazing. He was so good.
And your star?
It would have to be Lo Celso. Yeah, it would have to be Gio. That first goal, the pass he made, it was so good. It was class. He was class all around. So yeah, it has to be Lo Celso. Also because people dig him out so much, I'm just happy to see him do well.
Excellent. And who was your devil?
You know what? Whenever this player plays, I can never name anyone else because that's all I'm watching, which is Eric Dyer. He came in because I do not care how badly
and he did come on, didn't he?
Yeah. It's just, I don't even care like if he could have done better or not. I don't care if it was his fault or not. It's his problem. He's the reason we conceded. I truly believe that, and I will believe that unto my deathbed. I think that Eric Dyer needs to go, and he will always be the devil. And yeah,
testify.
And your demon.
My demon. You know what? This might come as a surprise, but like there were a lot of candidates that are worse than him. Emerson Royal was really bad, but just because of the standards he sets for himself in terms of finishing, I would say Sonny. Because he was really good in the game. But there were a lot of times when I wanted better from him, and there were times when Udogie would overlap him, and instead of passing to Udogie, he would cut in, and it was really frustrating to watch. And because I was so frustrated, I have to say that he all kind of qualified for demon, despite the fact that I absolutely love him.
Excellent. A hot, controversial take, I think. Fantastic. Ooh. Ben, who was your saint of the game?
The saint of the game is Rodrigo Bentancur, because he doth returned out of absolutely nowhere. And that is, if that isn't saint-like, I don't know what it is. He returned on the third day.
Okay.
Yeah.
He returned at the time of the sunshine, and he allowed us to play football again. Without him, we have not been able to play cohesive football because we've got no one that can pass the ball 5 yards.
And your star?
I'm going to give it to the Star Man waiting in the sky. He came to Tottenham Hotspur, and I can't remember the rest of the song.
He's a star man who's magic on the ball.
Magic on
he plays for Tottenham Hotspur and he comes from Senegal.
He's my star of the week. I think he's fantastic. I absolutely love the geezer. I think he's everything I want in a Tottenham Hotspur player. And when I saw him last year, he has all the attributes of a good Tottenham Hotspur player. Always looking for the ball, always showing, always there. And of course, the Tottenham Ontarian community has given him a nickname, which is, of course, the lawnmower, because he covers every blade of grass. So he's our guy. He's our star man.
Who's your devil for the Bournemouth game?
I wasn't thinking of this. So Ash has really put a cat amongst the pigeons. I was going to give my devil to that devilish fiend, Emerson Royal. Although people have been saying to me, "Oh, Ben, look at the stats. The stats say this and the stats say that." No, you're finding excuses for him. If you look at Emerson Royal, positionally, he is hideous. He is shocking. He does not know where to be. And that, when you're playing as centre-back, yes, I know, oh, he's not naturally a centre-back. He doesn't know, he's playing out of position. No, he's a defender. He should know where to be positionally. And that is one thing that supposedly he's good at, positioning and defending and good in the air. In every aspect of what he should be doing as a centre-back, trying to read a game, he was hideous. But then Ash said Eric Dyer. And I was saying Eric Dyer.
Beat that, Ben.
Eric Dyer is the demon, the devil this week. Eric
and
Dyer,
your demon?
Get out of my club.
And your demon would then be Emerson Royal?
Can I say the Spurs medical team?
No.
Oh, okay. The demon is going to be Emerson Royale then, for the reasons I put. But of course, Eric Dyer is the worst player on the planet. Get out of my club. Sell him now. Goodbye. The end.
Right, guys. So between the three of you now, you will need to decide who, and we need a consensus, was the saint for this panel.
Destiny a doggy. Destiny. I'm just saying Destiny.
Give it to him because
Are you guys going to go with that, or do you have who?
Majority wins.
So Destiny, yes.
Side on tour. This is about anarchy.
Yes, that's true.
So of course.
So are we gonna say that Destiny is this panel's saint for the game?
Yes. Yes.
I think we should give it to someone random just as a laugh, to spite you lot on the panel.
Let's give it to Eric Dyer then.
No.
Let's just say if you did that, the whole concept of this segment goes up in the absolute.
It's true. It is true.
Yeah.
It is true. Maybe that's the point.
Yes, chaos is not evil. Chaos is not evil. Chaos is random.
That's true. Chaos is indifferent.
Yeah.
Chaos is indifferent. Okay, I think Destiny would probably be our pick for the Saint. Yeah,
His name is Destiny. This is a game.
That's it. It's true. It makes sense. Yeah,
it makes too much sense. The first saint has to be Destiny.
Yes, I agree. So I think Destiny is going to be our saint for this one. Our star. We've got a couple there. Lo Celso. Others. What do you think, guys? Think?
Or
Starman.
I don't think. I don't see as much as I'd love to give it to Sar. I don't think you can give it to him for a 20-odd minute performance.
Do what I want.
Yeah, you can. You can do what you want, Ben. You can do. But
come on, guys. Harmony.
Harmony. Star 1 goal, 20 minutes. Gio Lo Celso 2 assists, and a lot longer. Obviously, he got substituted, and his shithousery at the end with Release.
Don't let facts get in the way of a good story, is what I'm saying.
His name is Star, and we're going on names now. So Star, he's the star man. Yeah, it has to happen.
Ooh, so which is it going to be, guys? Is it going to be Lo Celso or Sar? Come on.
I'll go with the majority.
Listen, I'm not paying you guys to prevaricate, okay? I'm not paying you at all. But
I'll go with the majority.
Okay, we'll just sign Starman because we love him. He's our guy.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So Starman is the Starman. Right.
I'll go with the majority, but I have to say the majority is wrong. But I'll go with it.
Okay. So we're going for Starman as the Starman. The Demon. So the second worst player between you. I think you each named someone different.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Each of you had a different one. So have at it, people. Have at it. If you can't decide, I get to choose, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So
what did you say again, Brian?
I said Porro.
I think it's got to be down the right hand side.
I mean, it makes less
Brian, you said Porro. Ash, you said Sunny.
I don't want to give
Ben,
it to Sunny.
you said
Emerson.
Royale. Right. So it's between Royale, Porro, and Sunny as to who the demon is this week.
I think it should be Royale.
Yeah, Royale.
Well, yes, obviously. We know you think it should be Royale. Yeah. You said Royale.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
And also, it really upset Nick, so it'd be really funny.
That's very cruel. That's very cruel on Nick.
If we're doing saints and sinners, goats and demons, it's very clear. Like that it works itself out, So Emerson as a goat.
Yeah. So you're gonna shift from Sunny onto Emerson, Ash?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay, Brian, are you willing to give up your Porro hatred?
It's not Porro hatred. It's
no,
don't say that because it will get clipped and it'll be all over. I do not hate Porro. Yeah, listen, I don't ever want to see him on this list. So anything that gets him off this list, I'm perfectly happy with.
Yeah.
Okay, so Are you happy to go with Emerson Royal as the demon?
Majority rules is what I'll say.
Okay, there you go. So we've got Emerson Royal as our demon, and now finally, the devil. Who is the devil? We've got
Eric
two
Dyer.
going for Eric Dyer, and I think that would be met with universal acclaim from many, many quarters. Even though he was only on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So Ben went with Eric Dyer. Ash, you went with Eric Dyer. Brian, who did you say was your devil?
Ollie Skip.
Ollie Skip. Okay, so again, now you see, you've given up. You've given up to the majority 3 times, I think, Brian.
Yes.
Are you going to insist on Ollie Skip, or are you going to be the diplomat once again? It's up to you.
I think I have to be the diplomat once again because I said with Gio to assist and stayed on longer in the shithousery and didn't get my vote. Well, this time, I mean, listen, we all like to blame Eric Dyer. We all know it's not good enough. But he was on for so short a time. If Alex Scott's second goal had been onside, then by a country billion miles, he would have won it. But I just think Ollie Skip could have been sent off, possibly should have been sent off. And our midfield collapsed, whether you want to say when Sarr went off or he came on, whichever one you want to use. I am saying I think it's Ollie Skip, and I am quite forthright in that.
Okay.
And I will fight.
Are we going to have a deadlock on this one? Are we going to have a deadlock? Do I get to cast the deciding vote? Ash, Ben, Brian is insisting on Ollie Skip. Defend.
Seeing as it's Ash's first time being Madame Producer, I think we're going to go with Ash and say Eric Dyer. Because the moment he came on the pitch, whatever you think of Ollie Skip, he had a horrible game. But no matter what you say, for all the time he was on the pitch, he didn't immediately concede. But the moment Eric Dyer came onto the pitch, back of the net. So Eric Dyer, the devil, he'll make Kim happy. And I always like it when Kim's happy. So Eric Dyer, Eric Dyer, Eric Dyer.
Okay.
Ben chose chivalry. I can see that. I'm still saying Skippy, but you can't compete with chivalry.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can. I mean, look, as a responsible host, it's my job to make sure that the majority voice is conveyed and properly enunciated. But I'm not a responsible host, so I'm going with Ollie Skip as well. There we go. Okay, so
you've just saved me there because I went chivalry. And gave respect to ladies, and I got my way because you wielded the axe, so I win.
Exactly. So
veto. Kim should get a veto. Isn't she like everyone's boss?
You will. Kim will beat me up for picking Ollie Skip over Eric Dyer later.
Eric Dyer.
Yeah, later.
Correct.
But send him to hell. But here we go. So now we will. This is our picks. This is this week's picks for Saints and Sinners. As you can see, our saint is Destiny Udogi. Our star is Sarr. The demon this week. Who was our demon?
Emerson Royale.
Emerson Royale. There you go. Emerson Royale as our demon. And the devil. Eric Dyer escapes devilment. Escapes devilment this week, and we're going with Ollie Skip. And so, in the league table, Destiny Udogi gets 3 points. Sarr gets 1 point. Emerson Royale gets -1 point, and Ollie Skip gets -3 points. And we've been putting together a league table for Saints and Sinners in the games that have gone so far. And this is what the current league table looks like. Obviously, this will change as the season goes on. And we will then be able to talk about who our top Saint and our top Devil are at the end of the season. Fantastic stuff. So we now move on to a new section. We're not going to be able to do it here because this is where you, as our viewers, get to contribute to this marvelous show. And we're going to call it, or we have called it, The Salt Factory.
Ooh.
And as you can see, it's about salt, and it's sponsored. We actually have a sponsor for Shelfside on Tour, even though this is our very first show, and it's Suxo Salt. All Suxo salt is ethically sourced from sustainable salt mines in Merseyside and South London. Suxo Salt is the subsidiary of Crymore Industries, supplying football fan bases across the globe since 1882. So, with the Salt Factory, what we would like is for you, our viewing several, to scour the social media, YouTube, Instagram, I don't know if they do Instagram, Facebook, all of this stuff, and find us the saltiest comments from probably Arsenal fans, probably Liverpool fans, and send them in to us here at Shelfside on Tour. And then we'll go through those, and the best ones we will read out every week. So do go scour. Let us know what you find, and we will read those comments out starting next week. And now, gentlefolk, are you prepared? Are you ready? Have you girded your loins?
Yes,
No.
I don't even know how to answer that.
There you go. It's time for Subject Quickfire.
Ooh.
Subject Quickfire. See, that's how quick it is. That even the splash screen is in there for an instant only. Right. So the way it works is that I will ask you each, or I will give each of you a subject. Okay. And then you have 3 minutes to discuss it amongst yourselves. Okay. At the end of the 3 minutes, you stop and we move on to the next one. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're ready. Fantastic. I'm going to get a 3-minute timer ready. And the first subject is Spurs discipline. Go.
Spurs discipline is woeful. I'm done.
Spurs' discipline is a fundamental flaw in this dressing room. I'm not sure if it is a management issue. I'm not sure if it's a personnel issue, but it's got to be sorted out as quickly as physically possible, because this is what's going to cost us getting as high as possible in this season when players are missing. Romero's already got 5 yellow cards, plus he's been sent off once. Udogi's been sent... No, Basuma's been sent off twice. Udogi's been sent off once, and he's had a suspension. This has got to be sorted out now. I don't know if the team has been telling them to pick up the yellow cards, but this would be a non-issue if we had a squad to be able to fulfill these. I would be happy for our team to be getting yellow cards left, right, and centre if we had backup. So there's no drop off. I don't know what you think, Ash, on this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Honestly, it's ridiculous the number of suspensions we've had. Like the red cards for sure. I think now we have one more than Liverpool. We had the same amount, but the yellows, it's insanity. Kulusevski has been suspended, and Bissouma, Udogi. I think Romero was one away from suspension when he got his injury, so he would have gotten it eventually. I have full faith in Romero. So I don't see how this is normal. Other teams have suspensions as well, but this is just ridiculous. And the fact that we're going through an injury crisis means that players should be more careful. They know that so many players are out. It's not like they don't know what's happening at the club. And to go in for the kind of tackles, like the Bissouma red cards, they're just absolutely ridiculous red cards. Both of them are completely unnecessary. The simulation one, I just hate divers. I hate it. It should be cut out of the game. Everyone should stop simulation. I think it's ridiculous. It's uncalled for. And the second one, his boot was so high. It was so high. Even if the ball was there, nobody should be raising their legs so high next to another player's ankle. I'm sorry.
30 seconds.
Two things we hate: dyers and divers.
Yeah, divers and divers. That's it.
Damn right.
Keep going. You've still got 20 seconds to go.
In the
Can I
year
say,
listen, it's something that needs to be,
1864,
it's something that needs to be dealt with. It's something that needs to be addressed. This happened with Arsene Wenger when when that lot started playing out their skins. We need to learn. It's a new style of football. It will get addressed. Levy out.
Good timing. Excellent. Fantastic. Are you ready? Next subject. You have 3 minutes to talk about peanut butter. What is it good for? Go.
it is good on toast. It is good in smoothies. It's a very nice treat if you've got a nice furry friend that wants to be treated once in a while. Everyone likes a nice dog. And give it some peanut butter once in a while.
Listen, I'll tell you, with peanut butter, there's a show I used to watch called This Is Us. If anyone hasn't watched it, one of the best shows you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where they're in the hospital and they say, there's a family discussion going on about, tell me something that you had with chocolate that makes chocolate taste bad. And they couldn't think of one. Like, they're going, popcorn, you name it. I challenge anyone to say something that doesn't go with peanut butter. I'll tell you something. Ilana, my beautiful, wonderful wife, was eating an apple, sliced apple, and was dipping peanut butter in it. She's like, try it. And I was like, nope, nope, not at all. That's disgusting. And I love peanut butter.
Apple and peanut butter is lovely.
Yeah. Bang. And then I'll give you another one. There's something she eats, and it's named ants on a log. And basically, it is a stick of celery, peanut butter in the celery, with raisins on top.
That works. That works.
And again, I looked at it and was like, what are you talking about? You're nuts. I've learned here in Canada that things that aren't meant to go together actually go together. And the answer to this question, peanut butter, what is it good for? Instead of saying absolutely nothing, say it again. It's actually everything.
Exactly one thing. On
Listen,
the
if you need to plaster your walls and there's nothing good, you haven't got any plaster available, peanut butter's your answer. If you need something, peanut butter is always the answer.
There's one thing though, on my show yesterday on the coffee company, someone brought up a peanut butter and gherkin sandwich. And that does not sound good in any way, shape, or form. Because where the hell would you have creamy or crunchy peanut butter with super sweet or sour pickles? That makes no sense at all. That just sounds vile, especially with the pickle juice running from
I feel confused just thinking about it. Ugh.
Yeah, that's not good at all. That is not happening.
I will tell you one thing in India, like I absolutely hate rats. I detest them. I challenge you to fight even Stuart Little. I don't care how white and cute he is. Stuart Little deserves to die. Peanut butter is great for rat traps. If you put some peanut butter instead of cheese, all this Tom and Jerry lied to us. It's not cheese, it's peanut butter. You put it on a rat trap, they come at it like flies. The rats are great. They get captured because the peanut butter enraptures their souls. And
Time up. Excellent work, guys. Excellent work. Next subject. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You have 3 minutes to talk about Spurs' worst ever player. Go.
Oh.
Here we go. All right, I'll go quickly because then I'm going to run to the toilet very, very quickly. Very, very simple for me. Stuart Nethercott. All I will say, air kick against Matt Letizia. Beautiful dummy if you're a Brazilian. You're not. You're English. I would rather play, again, injured players than Stuart Nethercott. Gave his all. Don't get me wrong. We were a bad team. And he was playing a certain person that went down the road, who we despise now. But playing on him, it showed you just how crap you were. And talking of crap, I must go to the bathroom.
Oh, dear.
Spurs worst ever played. Does it have to be one I've watched?
No.
Oh, we're going to go Jose Dominguez.
Ooh. Why?
Because he's just awful.
You've still got 2 minutes to fill.
We've got Bill's favourite player, Timothy Atuba with the million step overs. Absolutely dreadful. You've got. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do one that's controversial. I'm going to say Tongi and Ndombele.
Oh, I was going to say that. You
not
stole it from my mind.
we're synced, Ash. We're synced, you and me. We're like Hooves and Bobby. We're synced. But he's not the worst ever player to play for Tottenham. He is absolutely technically marvellous. But what he has done for the team since he arrived for £60 million and earning 200 grand a week is absolutely nothing. And that is why he is the worst ever Tottenham player, because he's got all the talent in the world. He's got more talent than anyone. It's like the IQ test. There are so many people who are really stupid but have higher IQs than Albert Einstein, for example. He's got all the ability and all the credentials in the world to be the best midfielder in the world. But he goes to McDonald's instead of training and eating salads and being fit and being strong and being a marvel. But that's why he's the worst player ever, because he's got everything, but he chooses nothing.
Ash, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of options. There's like Raziak. Does anyone remember that striker?
Raziak, yeah.
Yeah, there are so many strikers that are terrible. Janssen was terrible, but it has to be Tanguy and Ndombele for me. Like I genuinely, because it's just he has everything, then he has nothing. It just he doesn't have nothing. He has McDonald's, but like that doesn't help us. So yeah, and also he's a bad example to children everywhere. Screw McDonald's.
Time up. Excellent work. And one final subject. We talked about peanut butter and what it's good for. Talk to us, please, for 3 minutes about the best invention since sliced bread. Go.
Oh, the best invention since sliced bread. You've got many options. The internet, the mobile telephone, temper mattresses. They're pretty decent. The things that go on cars that make your doors go softer. That's one of them. There are loads of good inventions, but the mobile telephone has to be it. Every single person in the world now has a mobile telephone. And because it's so essential to life, it is the best invention ever. Whenever you used to have to call someone, you'd have to find a red telephone box, which would be covered in every single excrement known to man. Now you just pick up your phone, and I pick in Rezinator, Lord of the Shelf, and I get Rez, and I can call him, or I can call Kimber, or Brian can call me from across the world with no extra fees.
Yes, I'm going to very quickly come in here and just say two. Ben mentioned the mobile phone. I'm going to mention two apps. WhatsApp is by far one of the best things ever in life because the whole world communicates through it. Honestly, it's a godsend, especially for me being able to see my nephews and niece on video calls. I can't explain how important that is. But I think one of the best inventions ever is the app Shazam. Yeah. Forget whether you love music or whatever, the technology and everything behind it. Literally, you don't know a song, you hear a song, bang, within a second. There's a show out here called Beat Shazam, where it's all music, and you've got Shazam is an incredible invention. Yeah. The best.
1 minute 13.
I think the best in I'm just small thought, public telephones in England, you can use the 5 rupee Indian coin. It weighs the same and costs much lesser. And another thing is the best invention ever has to be the internet, because this show isn't possible without it. Right. We're in different continents and we're still talking to each other and we're making this show together. That's only possible with the internet. So it has to be the internet. But as good Indians, please save money. Don't on English public telephones use the 5 rupee coin instead of the £1 one. Right.
But also, you can
30 more seconds.
I'm going to say we lost all our records through Alexandria, so people made copies. So I'm going to say copying things.
Excellent. Any other inventions that you want to talk? Although, was that since sliced bread?
No, it's before sliced bread, technically.
Ah, well, there you go. So this is the best invention since sliced bread.
But no, I can't use the library at Alexandria.
There we go. That's it. Almost time. We almost made it, guys. You almost made it. Not bad. 3 out of 4 for this week, I think, is pretty damn impressive. Now then, have you got your thinking caps, guys?
I've got my cap on.
I
You
don't
got your
even
cap
know if
on?
I ever
Good.
had it.
It's time
I got
for...
hair.
I've got
You
this
got
one.
hair. You got thinking hair. You got
Yeah,
thinking
because
hair.
none of y'all do.
I've got my
No,
thinking
I
cap
don't
on.
have any hair, so it's all fine. So it's time for Quizzy Rascals. Yeah, blood.
Oh,
Here we
Yeah.
go.
We ask you questions, and you better know the answer in it, fam.
yeah.
Right? So it is the regular Shelf Side on Tour quiz.
Ben.
So the way it's going to work is that I'm going to ask you questions, right? And I don't know if you guys have done it before. What you need to do is you need to go into your little avatar name, right? And put your answer in. Change your name to the answer that you want to give, okay? We're starting off a little bit basic here, but we're gonna zhuzh it up in time. Okay, and then Ash will determine who gets however many points. Okay,
Okay.
I've got a little spreadsheet here in which I will put in your points, right? And then at the end, we will see who gets what. All
Can I
right?
just say, is this right answers are what we're going for here, or sarcasm?
Yes, we're going for correct
Oh!
answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
And this is the Klinsman Sheringham quiz. I thought we'd start with a classic strike partnership, so we're going with the Klinsman Sheringham quiz. Are you guys ready?
I am indeed.
You're ready, yes? Okie doke. Here we go. Question 1, if it will come up. Who was the manager when Spurs signed Jurgen Klinsmann from Monaco in the summer of 1994? Okay. Putting your answers in. I can see when you've made them, when you change them around.
I've spelled his surname wrong, but it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's good. I'm waiting for Ash.
Oh, wait,
Well,
I'm just taking
that's
points. I
playing as
thought.
well.
No, this is the great thing is that you get to answer and also tell us how many points each person gets. So we're going to see how evil you can really be.
I don't actually know how to change my name on these things.
Okay, so what you do is you see where your picture is on the bottom.
I see it.
If you click the hamburger, you can edit your name.
See, Ash, if you had a thinking cap like me, you would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Or you had no hair like me.
Yeah.
Or the fact that we have done probably 5,000 more streams than Ash.
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be the.
That will have something to do with it. Right. Have you done it yet?
No, I still can't see.
Okay. So down at the bottom, you see where your the little screen with your picture on it
I
is.
see
If
it.
you click,
I got it.
if you click the three dots, the hamburger, you can edit your name.
Yes,
I never knew it was called a hamburger. What an education today has been.
Called a hamburger, yeah.
Well, if you were going to ask what are the dumbest inventions, I would say the person that called that a hamburger.
But
right up there.
because when usually it's 3 lines, like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up with your fucking knowledge. Just please remind me that before we end the show, I put my name back because I'll go on to another show today as an answer to a question.
That's correct. Right.
I spelled the name wrong.
Okay. So the answer is Ozzy Ardiles. Each of you has put, Brian has put Ozzy Ardiles.
Yes.
Ben has put Ozzy Ardiles 114.
Yeah.
And Ash, you've gone with Livermore. Okay. So obviously the answer is Ozzy Ardiles. Ash, who gets how many points?
Well,
how many points are you giving Brian?
Since I was wrong, everybody gets negative points, and so Brian gets 5 red cards.
5 red
Minus 5. How many points does Ben get?
20 question ban.
I like Ben more because he added 114 to it, and so he gets minus 3 points.
Okay. How many points do you get?
I get 0 points because I didn't get it right, but I didn't get it wrong either for me. So,
and for my masterly asking of the question, how many points do I get?
Oh, you get 100 because I like you more.
Fantastic. That's what I like to hear. You see, a lot of people, actually no one has asked why I asked Ash to be my co-host, but now you know the reasons. Okay.
I just want to ask Ash one question, which is I got -5 red cards and Ben got -3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the worst points here? I've got a 20-question ban apparently. And Ben's on -3 points. So okay. So
that's for you to work out, isn't it?
I need to take my thinking cap off because clearly it's not helping me.
Okay.
No. That's it, you see. There you go. Anyway. Oh, it's formatted this for some reason as a formula because I'm using a spreadsheet to determine it. I know. I know. Bloody hell. I don't know if you guys can hear the bangs and thumps from above us in the ceiling. Anyway, question number 2. Who was the manager when Spurs signed Teddy Sheringham from Nottingham Forest in August 1992?
Oh,
that's a great question. It was 92. It was.
Do 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 There you go.
Wes, the excitement you had yourself there in bouncing along to the countdown clock was just a joy to see.
It's a genius thing. It's a genius thing. Right. The answer to question 2 was Doug Livermore.
Oh no.
And let's see who put what. Brian has put Clements and Livermore.
They were joint.
Ben, they were joint, that's true. Ben, you put Terry Venables 114, and Ash has put Doug Livermore. So, Ash.
Clement's wrong again. So,
what are the points?
I'm on spelling beat.
That's fine. The spelling is optional on this show.
Okay.
Ash.
Listen, I'm Indian. We barely know our English spelling. So, anyway.
Absolutely. That's it. In Hindi or Sanskrit, that would be correct.
I think Ash's answer to everything is Livermore.
Yes.
Yeah.
My answer to everything is out. Hers is Livermore.
Yeah. What is the solution to Spurs' transfer problems? Livermore.
Yeah. There you go.
Ash, time to award points.
So Ben got it wrong. But no, because I like Terry Venables, I'm gonna give him a 10.
Okay, 10 points. Good.
And Brian is too smart. He's like, oh, Clements and Livermore. He's so like accurate. And so I'm gonna give him. But you know what? He did get the right answer, so he does deserve more points than Ben. So I'm gonna give him 10.1.
How many? 10.1.
Yeah.
Yes, he's right by 0.1.
Excellent. And how many points do you give yourself?
I got it right 100%. So I get like 100 points.
100 points. Fantastic. And for my asking of the question, how many points do I get?
1,000 because you got 100 last time and you only improved. So
works for me. Works for me. There we go.
I like this. This is dictatorship here.
Yeah. Question 3. From which Italian club did Klinsmann move when he returned to White Hart Lane for his second stint at Spurs?
That question is wrong.
Is it?
He went to.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Are you sure?
As in, he
didn't go to.
Can I say what Brian's wanting to say?
You could.
I think he was technically a Spurs. Oh wait. from which club did he move? Oh, okay.
From which Italian club did Klinsmann move when he returned to White Hart Lane for his second stint at Spurs?
No, it's right then, Brian.
No, it's not. I put my answer, I'm sticking to it, but I'm now checking.
Okay.
My question's locked in.
Okay. All right. Are you all done? Okay. So the answer is Sampdoria.
Damn it.
And each of you has put... Brian's got Bayern Munich.
Yes.
Ben has put Inter Milan, 114. And Ash has put Sampdoria.
Listen, he was at Bayern Munich.
And very briefly went to Sampdoria before coming to Spurs on loan.
Oh, this is absolute nonsense.
So
I'm going, listen, they're all in the Euros. It's all one country. We may be out of it.
I was going to say. Rez, technically, he was never a Spurs player the second time around. He was a loanee.
That's right.
So I think
that's why I said second stint at Spurs rather than transfer. As well. I said he moved.
I stand by that very famous Italian club, Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, Bayerno Munica. Bayerno Munica.
Bayerno Munica.
I'm right.
Okay, so time for the points. Ash, how many points are you giving Brian? You got to give him. You got to give him some points.
I got to give him lots of points for this because Bayern Munica.
Bayern Munica, exactly.
It's a great Italian club. It's an institution in Serie A. It wins it every year, and so I'm gonna give Brian 1,000 points for Bayern Munica.
Excellent. And how many points to Ben?
Unfortunately, Inter Milan is the club we got Antonio Conte from. It was the previous club he managed at. And so I don't like Inter Milan for that reason because, they fired Conte and that's why we had him. And so Ben gets -100 for Inter Milan, 114.
Oh, my God. That's just evil. How many points are you giving yourself?
I am the only person here with the right answer. And for that, I get 100 points because it's 100% right.
Okay, there you go.
Sounds reasonable.
That sounds reasonable. Yeah. And how many points do I get?
Well, you're kind of growing on me. You need to change your question style just a little bit. And plus, because Brian for all that smartness about stints and transfers and loans and all of that, that's too smart for me. So I'm going to give you -10.
-10. There we go.
Can I just say, when it comes to this pointing score, I love the fact that I got it wrong and got 1,000 points, and Ash got it right and got 100 points. I'm delighted with the scoring system.
I'm going to win the game, though, guys. I'm coming back in the second half.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Right. Question 4. To which English club did Sheringham move after his second stint at Spurs? I can see you all beavering away there with the thinking.
He went to... Yep, I'm right.
Okay. There we go. All right. So the answer is Portsmouth. Each of you has put... Brian has put Portsmouth. There you go. Ben has put only shelf side on tour is on Thursday nights. That's an excellent answer, Ben. Take note, Ash. That's a good answer. And Ash, you have put Villa. Unfortunately not.
I had no clue.
It was Portsmouth. So, time for points. Ash, what are you giving Brian's 100% correct answer?
I give it 1 point for being correct.
Okay, good. What are you giving Ben's brilliant, masterful answer?
Yeah.
Ben gets 1,000,000 points. For
1,000,000 points.
On Thursday night.
Okay, can I just have a good... Can I just have a steward's inquiry to when I went to this quiz and said, are we going for right answers or wrong answers here? Because I've been given wildly the wrong
I said we're going for right answers. Right. I said nothing about the point system.
Yeah, okay. I didn't read
A million points.
What are you giving yourself, Ash?
I give myself 1 point for the question mark. Because I had no
1
clue.
point for the question mark.
I think you should be giving yourself red cards or minus, but here we go.
That's true. That's true. That's true. You could give yourself red card.
Brian,
Okay, 1 red card. Question ban.
One red card. Okay, 1 red card. I don't know how my spreadsheet is going to calculate all this, to be honest. And what are you giving me for asking the question?
I reckon you did all right. You're getting better. You're getting there. So 100 points.
Yeah. 100 points. Fantastic. There we go. Okie doke. Righty ho. Question 5 is, which amateur side did Klinsmann play 8 games for in the 2003 season, netting 5 goals in the process?
Are you taking the absolute piss?
Yes.
The only way I can literally say this.
I know this one. I think.
Oh, she knows this one. I'll give you a clue. Think fruits, Brian.
I've got a better answer.
Okay. Okay, here we go. And Ben, waiting for your answer.
I'm looking forward to Ben's reaction.
All right, here we go. So the answer, this was when he had moved to the United States, you see. And so in 2003, he played 8 games for Orange County Blue Star.
I was on the
and
tip
scored
of my
5
tongue.
goals. Yeah. So Brian has put Tree is the magic number. Ben has put FC de 114 United. And Ash has put Orange County Blue Star. Clever. Clever. All right.
14.
So,
no, not FC 100, FC the
114. Absolutely.
It's very important.
It's
Absolutely.
very French.
Yeah.
It is. So, Ash, points, please.
Tree is the magic number. So I love Brian's answer. And so that gets him 500 points.
500 points. Good. And for Ben?
Well, I'm not like I speak French, but I'm not that fond of the French. So FC the 114 United, just for being too fancy and French, gets -5.
So how many points, sorry?
-5.
-5. Okay. And so -5.
Dragon Glass.
Is it -5? There we go. For yourself, how many points?
Well, I clearly have the right answer.
I don't know how she got the right answer. That's
no. I'll tell you why I got the right answer. Because there's a air conditioning company called Blue Star here, and so there's a running joke about Orange County Blue Star every time it stops working, and that's how I know it. But
do you know what? If I ever need you to give me an alibi, I'm calling Ash because she thought of that like that.
Yeah.
How many points are you giving yourself, Ash?
I'll give myself a point for getting the right answer.
A point. There we go. And how many points for me asking that really, really evil, nasty, nasty question?
I reckon 500 points because
500
it's a great
points.
question and I knew the answer. Unlike
Genius.
the rest of this lot.
There we go. Okay, so at the halfway mark, the scores are as follows. In the lead on 999,912 points is Ben. Amazing. In second place, even though I haven't answered any questions, is me on 1,690 points. Coming a very close third on 1,511.1 points and 5 red cards is Brian.
Yeah.
And at the back on 201 points and 1 red card is Ash. So all to play for as we go into the second half of the quiz. Right. Question 6. Sheringham holds the record for the oldest Premier League outfield player at 40 years and how many days? You can be up to 20 days either side. Right?
I don't know Ben's answer.
If he puts 114.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Okay. Here we go. 1 second. There you go.
Ooh, there we go. Okay. So Sheringham holds the record for the oldest Premier League outfield player at 40 years and 272 days. Each of you has put, Brian has put 333, which I like. Ben has put 40 years and 114 days. You see, Ben, what you've said there is that Sheringham was the oldest Premier League outfield player at 40 years and 114 days.
Yeah.
And Ash has put 40 years and 42 days. So obviously the answer is 272. None of you got it right. I don't know how many points you're going to get. This is all up to Ash and how chaotic and anarchic and evil she wants to be.
No,
Ash,
wait,
over to you.
I have the right answer. I'll tell you why I have the right answer. I don't know if anyone here reads Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but 42 is the right answer always.
Not on
So
shelf
I have
for Ash. Not on shelf
if we're doing this reasonably and truthfully, I am the closest. But
that's also true. You are the closest. You are the closest. Ben is like 40 years out completely, you know. And Ash 200 and something odd days out, 230. So Ash
wasn't a time traveler, and he went forward in time, found the medicine that made him become like the Dunedain and become mates with Aragorn. And then he's 80 years old.
Okay, interesting. Ash, points.
Well, my reference was better than Ben's, and so I'm gonna give him negative 1,000 points.
Okay.
I kind of like trees, so Brian gets 1,000 points positive.
Oh, fantastic! Okay.
I got the right answer because 42 is always the right answer, and apparently. So
42 points, surely you should get yourself 42 points.
Exactly, 42 points. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. And for myself,
I don't like the question that much, and so you get a minus 100.
A minus 100. That's good. There we go. Okie doke. Right. Question number 7. In June 1994, Andrew Anthony of the Guardian newspaper wrote an article entitled "Why I Hate Jurgen Klinsmann." A couple of months later, he wrote another article about Klinsmann. What was the title?
Sorry, let's have a look at that again. So I should...
In June 1994, Andrew Anthony of the Guardian newspaper wrote an article entitled "Why I Hate Jurgen Klinsmann." A couple of months later, Andrew Anthony wrote another article about Klinsmann. What was the title of that article? Oh, Ash is in there quickly with her answer.
Oh.
He's jumped in there. Brian's done it. I think Ben is busily trying to see how he can get 114 into that article title.
Yeah.
Excellent. The answer to the question was why I love Jurgen Klinsmann. And what have we got? Brian has put why I love Jurgen Klinsmann. Brent has put, you know that Mullery played for Spurs and Fulham. And Ash has put why I hate Teddy Sheringham. No. Oh, so close, so close. There we go. Points, please, Ash.
Well, Brian did get it right, and and he's been getting it right more often than the rest of us. So I'm going to throw him some pity points, and so that pity points 500.
Okay.
50 points behind, and I was expecting to get some extra points for the Usain Bolt random celebration.
That's
Oh,
what
no.
you did. You did the
I
dab.
have no idea why I broke into it. No idea.
Brian,
Hey.
since you did the Usain board, we'll make it 3,000.
3,000 points. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could have
And
done
for
the
Ben?
Jurgen Klinsmann dive, but then
For
I
my
might have
answer, you
broken
have
things.
to read it like Christopher Walken. You know,
You know that Mallory played for Spurs and Fulham.
Context.
And how many points?
For that impersonation, Ben gets 1,000 points.
1,000 points. Lovely.
No.
How many points for your incorrect answer there, Ash?
Well, I should penalize myself because I don't hate Teddy Sheringham. Whoever
No.
that lot was, whoever wrote that article, he hated Teddy Sheringham, and so I'm gonna give myself minus 500.
Minus 500 points. Okie doke. And for me?
For the interesting question, I'd give you 1,000 points.
1,000 points. Excellent. There we go. Oh, I put 100 there. There we go. 1,000. Right. Okie doke. Question 8. Teddy Sheringham also holds the record for the oldest Premier League goal scorer at 40 years and how many days? Here we go. Here we go. Ash has got her answer in. I think everyone in the audience knows what Ash's answer is going to be. Okay, here we go. So the answer to the question is 268 days. So each of you has put, Brian has put the amount of days it was after his birthday. That's technically correct. Ben has put 114. And
14.
Oh, so 14. And Ash has put 42. There you go. Ash, points, please.
Right answer.
Brian's was technically accurate.
Yes. As a professor, I appreciate Brian's technical accuracy, and so I give him 1,000,000 points for being technically accurate.
Excellent. 1,000,000 points. That's good.
I get a lot of points for being right, clearly, for
Yep.
the right answer always. And so I give myself 100 points for being right.
What do you give Ben for his marvelous Italian?
I'm getting to him. He's incoming. I can't even pronounce that. And that answer,
14.
since I can't pronounce it, Ben can repeat it as many times as he likes. I'm going to give him a minus 200.
A minus 200. Okay. And for me?
You get minus 200 because at this point, this quiz has gone on pretty long.
Yes, that's true. 2 more questions. Jurgen Klinsmann scored 1 Premier League hat-trick while playing for Spurs. Against whom?
This could be a trick.
Brian knows this. Brian is right in on that.
Let me just edit that because I spelt it wrong again and I want to correct my spelling.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It could be a trick question.
It's not a trick question.
Then it's this. Then I'm right.
Was it in 1 PL hat trick?
1 Premier League hat-trick, yeah.
And let me just say, if we had Jurgen Klinsmann in his pomp now, Jesus Christ. In Andrew's team, bloody hell. Or if we have both.
Frightening.
If we have both of them.
So the answer was Wimbledon.
Where he scored 4.
Brian has put Wimbledon. Ben has put Paul Stewart X42 equals the meaning of life.
Times 42.
Times 42 equals the meaning of life. And Ash has put Villa.
I have to say, if I'm ever lucky enough to be in a Doug Livermore Aston Villa quiz, I am bringing Ash along with me because we win.
Yes, that's what you got to do. That is what you've got to do. It's true. And points, please.
Brian did get the right answer, so let's give him 100 points. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Brian's the rest of us don't even belong on the same screen.
That's a bit harsh.
Is it really?
No.
Look deep inside your soul and tell me that you belong on the same screen as Brian in this quiz.
I don't. It's true. It's true.
Sorry,
points.
Crepe. For the pause tour into 42, just for the shrine, I will give you 1,000 points. There you go.
1,000 points. Fantastic.
Recognized.
For yourself?
And Villa, because I don't even know what to do with that. But for the question mark, I'll give myself minus 200 for being
minus 200. Okay. And for myself?
Take 200 points. The question was fun.
Excellent. And the final question. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Teddy Sheringham scored 2 Premier League hat-tricks as a Spurs player. Name one of the clubs he scored them against.
Spurs player. Name one of them. Okay. That I can do. Do I get extra points if I name both?
Yes.
Okay. God, I really am showing that I hate to lose.
There we go. Okay. So the answers are he scored 1 against Leeds and another against Newcastle. And Brian has put Newcastle and Leeds. Woohoo! Ben has put only shelf side on tour is on Thursday night in bold. He's put them in caps. Okay. He means business with this one.
I mean business.
And Ash has put Villa, Wimbledon. So there you go. Ash, what are the points that you are awarding for these answers?
Well, Shelfside on tour is on Thursday nights, Ben. And so Ben gets 1,000,000 points.
Ben gets 1,000,000 points. Yeah. That is brilliant.
Yes, but it's a fact. It is on Thursday nights. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. That is true. So Ben gets 1,000,000 points. Have I done 1,000,000? There we go. Yeah, 1,000,000 points. Yep. And Ben, for Brian.
Well, Brian is right, but at this point, he's just showing off. I don't like that. So he's got a minus 1,000 for showing off.
Minus 1,000 for showing off. For yourself? For yourself?
Well, clearly, I added to my knowledge with the previous question and with my previous answers, and so my wonderful ingenuity gets me 100 points.
100 points, and for me.
Please end this quiz minus 1,000.
Okay, there we go. And the quiz is done. And it's a very, very interesting set of results. Here we go. In 4th place, a magnificent effort, but unfortunately not quite enough. It's my co-host, Madam Producer Ash, on minus 257 points.
Thank you.
In 3rd place, a stalwart effort, I thought. A stalwart effort is me on 1,490 points. In 2nd place, a real late surge, really, really pushing the eventual victor right to the wire. It's Brian on 1,004,611 points. So this week's winner is Ben on 3,001,512 points. Congratulations, Ben. Round of applause. Round of applause for our winner.
Let me just say, everyone is a winner because just like this football club, we all got top 4.
Damn right.
Everyone is a winner. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you come as long as you get top 4, apparently. So I'm delighted with wherever I finish.
Absolutely. So there you go. Ben, would you like to make a speech?
Yeah. Shelfside on Tour is only on Thursday nights. Anyone that streams at the same time is, frankly, on the wrong side of history.
There you go.
As we know, when water is not wet, but when water covers a surface, that makes that surface wet. And just like every single week, Shelfside is on Thursday nights. Anyone that disagrees with us is wrong. They're unaffirmative. What are you doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go on down to Bayern or Munich.
Yeah.
Bayerno Munich. Munica. Bayerno Munica.
Or they could go to FC, the 114 FC.
Absolutely. So that was that for the quiz, and we come to now our final section. Again, this is where you, our viewing marvelous audience, can have your say, and it's called Ask Us Anything in it. Okay, so on Ask Us Anything, what we do is that we get questions that you, the viewing several, ask us, and the way that you can do that in the comment section below, after you've pressed the like button and press the subscribe button, put in a little question, put at SSOT at the beginning, and what we'll do next week, we'll go through all the questions that you ask, and we will ask the best ones, or maybe all of them, or maybe none of them. But yes, get your questions in the comment section, and join us again next week, where we will answer some of them. But that's it for our show. It's been fun. It's been painful. It's been 2 hours filled with laughter, love, and hatred. And I can only say thank you for joining us. Guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you to my marvelous producer, Madam Ash P. Thank you for joining us. Where are we going to find you next?
Well, I suppose right here, answering things that people ask on Ask Us Anything. So
Absolutely. And obviously, my fellow Tottenham On-Tourians, we will be back. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Tottenham On Tour, lots of new good content coming along, but the regulars are happening as well. Join us every weekday at 9 a.m. for Cockerel-Doodle-Doo. Brian, you're going to be presenting that again tomorrow morning, I believe. Is that right? Just before the Burnley game?
Every single day there's a Cockerel-Doodle-Doo, unless I am severely ill. I will be here. I will be here. The Spurs medical team don't run me. If I'm ill, it will be just a day off or something. Then I will be back. And
on Saturday, we can look forward to Anger Management with yourself and Johnny. Is that right?
Well, yeah, this is, as you know, this is obviously pre-recorded. I say look forward to. If it's a victory, very much look forward to it. If it's a defeat, very much look forward to it. If you want to see Daigle in his ranting best.
Excellent. And Ben, additional to Tottenham On Tour, there's also the coffee company, I believe. You're going to be, you stream every weekday as well, do you not?
Every weekday at 2 p.m. The only show that is at 2 p.m. every day, except for Wednesday, because Bobby K doesn't want to get out of bed. So yes, find us there on the coffee company. Weekday full streams, good times and good fun, and just being nice to each other.
What sort of Indian doesn't want to work?
There you go. That's a good question to ask Bobby, I think. It's a good question to ask him. Again, thank you very much for joining us on this inaugural show, the debut show for Shelfside On Tour. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Do please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Leave it out.